What's going on everyone, Ollelito back here with a brand new video on the channel. Today guys, I will be showing you a new insane formation, but most importantly, insane tactics. I mean, these tactics are on a complete other planet, if I'm being honest. You will understand what I'm talking about when we get into the video. But these are Johnny, who won the FUT Champions League tactics. He was using these tactics in the FUT Champions League. So let's just jump into today's video where I'm going to show you the 4-4-1-1 formation with some spicy and yeah, new tactics, to say the least. So if we jump into the starting 11, this is how the squad is looking like. And you've been seeing these players before, this team before. It's a very, I wouldn't say even like a special team at the moment because of how far we are into the game cycle of this year's game. But yeah, we have checking goal, obviously Davies and Havertz, wingbacks, Konate, Saliba, center backs. Midfielders, we have Declan Rice, De Bruyne, Bellingham, Joao Felix, Son and Sørloth. But more importantly, how do we line these players up into a 4-4-1-1 formation? And why is the 4-4-1-1 formation so good? So, we start off by jumping into the tactics of the 4-4-1-1. And Johnny in the FUT Champions League was using 100 depth. And I'm not even kidding, 100 depth. And why is this 100 depth thing so good? Mainly because AI defense will just keep on pushing up your defense. But the thing you need to use with the 100 depth is that you need to use 15 in width, because you want your team to be very, very compact. But at the same time, if your AI, as we know, if the depth is above 70 in this year's game, they will do automatic or side traps, which means that this will basically be like a boost. So your defense will be like this, and it will keep on like pushing, and it will just be so compact in the middle, which means that their opponent needs to use the wingers and then mostly go for crosses. But you can counter the crosses by having some players that either has aerial gold or aerial silver and are very, very tall to be able to defend the crosses. So that's something that I would advise you guys to do. But Johnny was using 15 width, 100 depth, which is insane. Build-up play balance, chance creation was direct passing, and then for width he was using, I think he was switching a bit, but he was using around 55 to 60 width, so I don't think this matters too much. Usually in box I think he was using 5 or 6, and then for corners it's just personal preference. If you see my last video with my corners where I show you guys how to take them direct or whatever, you need to use corners on 2 to be able to, you know, get these players lined up in a perfect way. So if we go into the formation and the instructions, this is how I line up my team at the moment. Obviously Sørloth is not going to be playing there. Sørloth should be as a winger, and if you like crosses in this year's game, you need to use this formation, because in this formation they are actually, you know, putting themselves into a position where you really want them. So for example here, I'm going to play Declan Rice and Kevin De Bruyne as my midfield. I played Bellingham here as an offensive midfield. I could get a striker or someone else here, but for now I'm going to play Bellingham. I'm going to have Joao Felix as a striker, Heung-min Son and Sørloth on the wings, Kai Havertz left back, Davies right back. So we're starting off with the tactics on the fullbacks, and for the fullbacks, you know, Johnny obviously was using stay back, I think, on both, but I think you should always play with a fullback that is on balance. So you can choose for yourself. If you want someone, you know, to be a bit more higher up, to be able to use them in attack, I would advise you guys to go for someone on balance. In this case I have Havertz and Davies, which means that I have both fullbacks that are really, really good in terms of, you know, going as offensive fullbacks, good on the ball, good passing, even good shooting if they get to good chances. But Johnny was playing, I think, both on stay back, which basically means he wasn't conceding a lot of goals, basically because he wasn't really getting counter-attack that heavily. So the thing you want to do on fullbacks is use stay back while attacking on overlap for both of them. If you go into the defensive midfielders in the 4-4-1-1, you can use a bit really what you want. If you want to go a bit more offensive, you do balanced attack. But the most important thing that you want to do on your center midfielders in the 4-4-1-1 is going to be cover center for both of them. Why? Because you want them both to stay in the middle of the pitch and just defend, you know, basically through the middle. Especially with us using the 100 depth and 15 width, it helps a lot by having CMs on cover center to be able to just make that middle as compact as you possibly can, so the opponent can't play through you. So as I said before, they need to use the wings to their advantage, and from the wings it's usually harder in this game to score because you want to go to the wing then go into the middle. But if the middle is compact, you can't really do too much there. So you want to do cover center on both the midfielders. Johnny was using stay back while attacking for both of them. I would advise you guys to also do that, because obviously you have Bellingham in this case, who should probably be a bit more of an offensive player, you know, going forward. But Rice and De Bruyne, both of them should be on stay back while attacking and cover center. So moving in towards the wingers, what kind of instructions do we have of them? This is going to be a bit more detailed, so make sure to watch this very carefully. So starting off with Sørloth, who is going to be a left midfielder in the 4-4-1-1. We want him to come back on defense to make the team more compact, as we talked about before. We want Sørloth to cut inside in this formation, basically because we want, obviously, Havertz. If Havertz is your main guy that you want to go forward, we want him to cut inside. So Sørloth cuts into between the space of the fullback and the center back to open up the space for Havertz to run on the left hand side. So Sørloth, come back on defense and cut inside. And then for crosses, you have get into the box for cross. Basically because you want the player to be able to get into the box, find a pocket of space, and basically when you're going in for the crosses, if he's not in there, you know, he can maybe come, you know, for the outside of the box, but you just want him to be inside the box, especially when it's Sørloth. I mean, you don't really want him to, you know, be outside of the box because you want him to be inside there heading, or in general just helping to score goals. And for the right midfielder, it's going to be exactly the same. It's going to be come back on defense, cut inside, and then get into box or cross. As I said before, you want that box to be crowded with a lot of players, so if there is a few bounce backs, you have players and you are able to convert your chances of scoring goals. So, moving into the two most important players of the team, I would say the center forward and the striker. Johnny was using on the center forward or cam, whatever you want to call that position, he was just using comeback on defense. Basically, as I said before, and we've been talking about it now, he wants the team to be as compact as possible, especially with 15 width and 100 depth, so your team just keep on pushing up and helping, obviously. And by the way, you can also use 100 depth in the 4-3-2-1 tactics if you really want to try it out. So, just comeback on defense for Jude Bellingham. And then for the striker, he was actually using get in behind and stay central, and we don't really want to use Joao Felix on balance here. That's because we don't want him to be, you know, making a run in behind the opponent's fullback, because we only have one striker and we want him to be in the middle of the pitch as much as he possibly can. That's why we play stay central. And also getting behind will definitely help, you know, yourself in terms of the AI will create a bit more space in terms of attacking runs, and you know, creating more space for Bellingham, Rice, and De Bruyne to get into the box. Even Son and Sørloth will get more into the box because of Joao Felix doing some AI runs by having the attacking runs on get in behind. Yes, guys, that was it for this video. Please let me know if these tactics worked for you. For Johnny, it seems to work very, very good. Won the Champions League, won the VBL, the Bundesliga club playoffs, I think, and also won the VBL finals. So he's been having a remarkable season. Just got signed to Fnatic as well. So yeah, just let me know what you guys think about these tactics down below. And also, thank you so much for the support recently. You guys are the greatest. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much, guys. And as always, stay safe, stay humble, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Using Theo Hernandez. Now I'm using Davis, obviously, but Theo was really, really good at corners for me. So the thing you want to do if you want to aim for like the corner to be around like the middle of the box, around the penalty spot, basically, you want to do this. Okay, so if you look at the ball, for example, we haven't changed anything in terms of, you know, curve or anything for the back post and the first post. You don't need to switch anything for curve. For the penalty spot one, you need to. So the thing you do is you aim basically towards the ref. You see the ref at the back there. He's standing basically like outside of the penalty spot. You want to aim at him, maybe a bit more left, depending on how much curve your player has. The thing you want to do with the curve then is you want to go as max as you can to the left here. So you want to do like inside foot curled, and you want to do inside foot curled, basically starting from this point. So you want to do, as I said here, just move your stick to the left when you're taking it with a left footed player.